Welcome back to Thiessbott On Ice, and this is the Athlete's Climb, where we go over current and past athletes and see their stories, what they've done through their experience, hardships, breakthroughs, all that stuff. I want to bring that to you, the audience, to just try and kind of get more thoughts out there to see what it takes to be elite athletes and then what it takes to maybe have to take that turn away from it and move on from that sport if you end up doing that. And today I've got a shutdown defenseman with me. His leadership, character, and work ethic is contagious, and he's about to head to his second season at Marian University after a strong AJHL career with the Camrose Kodiaks. Brady Brenner, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Yeah, very good.
How's it going today?
Oh, it's good. Thank you for having me on. That's great. That's I like the show idea. It's very good. I guess I'm first guest from what I understand. So
That's
what an honor.
technically the cherry on top.
Well, there you go.
So we got a first. Try and hit it off with a bang.
Okay, I'll do my best for you.
So, anyways, where did it all start? Share a bit about your journey into hockey.
Well, I mean, I started when I was young. Like I was probably skating when I was 5 already, 5, 6. My parents were great about that. They put me in sports, and I was good. I was a good skater. And then went up through minor hockey and then got into quadrant. Played with the Calgary Royals for quadrant, and yeah, and then I kind of worked my way up in junior and college. But I was young when I started, like I said, 5 years old already on skates. So I think I was, according to my parents, I was ahead of the field a bit in timbits or whatever they would call it now, pipsqueaks or
Pipsqueaks? I have
I
no
don't know.
idea. It's
I
not
don't know.
tidbits anymore.
I don't think it's called timbits anymore, but I don't know. But yeah, that's how I started, and
So they saw potential in you right away, or like were you a
I
natural
don't
kind of
know.
thing?
I think well, my dad played. Like he played. They put me in a variety of sports. Like I played baseball and soccer too, but like I guess I was just a little better at hockey and I enjoyed it. I guess I mean I enjoyed winter hockey and then summer sports. So I don't know. That's how I started. I mean I don't really remember really really wanting to get into hockey. I always just was in it. I guess
You were
like
just in it.
I was just in it and playing, and I liked it. So I don't know.
Well, like even for myself, I started out when I was probably 4 or 5 years old,
Yeah,
and
yeah, just skating and
my parents put me in hockey, and that's kind of all I knew for the winter anyway.
right.
Little small town in Saskatchewan, but
Well,
then I quit when I was moved to Alberta about 8 years old. So
8 years old. That wow, just
yeah,
not into it anymore. Well, see, that's the thing. It's like I don't know why I decided to continue. I mean, I guess I took a liking to it, and I've always liked it since. I don't know because a lot of kids do quit, to play other sports. But what else do you do in the winter in Alberta? What other sports are there to play? I mean, I don't know what. I guess basketball and lacrosse is summer sport.
I
No,
think lacrosse is more
basketball
summer.
is winter kind of. But I played basketball in high school too. You can
Could have
still
done
do it.
curling.
Yeah, curling, sledding, snowboarding. I could have skied maybe, but
Are you a skier?
a little bit,
A
yeah.
little bit.
But
Yeah, I'm a snowboarder, so
I know, yeah, we have our differences, but that's okay.
as long as you go down the hill and you don't cut each other off,
Yeah, but
it's
our
fine.
gripes with snowboarders. You know it or no?
Not
You
really.
know it. You just don't want to say it. It's when you guys sit on the hill in the middle
Oh,
of the hill. Oh my gosh, that just pisses us off. Skiers, I don't know, because we don't do that. Like, we don't
yeah,
just
because you can
sit.
stand easily on it. On a
Look,
snowboard, have you sat on a
I'm not going
snowboard?
to criticize snowboarders. I've never snowboarded, so I don't know, but I have certain conflicts with certain snowboarders,
It
very
is kind
specific
of
snowboarders.
weird to stand and like wait for your turn because the mountain will make you like have to like really work
True.
your
You can't really
legs to like
stand.
stand, and then
Yeah,
like you start just like going.
right. But what is it right in the middle of the hill? And I don't know.
Unless
Anyways,
those are newbies or it's like a group of dudes that just want to hit some jump
yeah,
that they got to get speed from that area from. I have
I
no
don't know.
idea.
Whatever. I'm not here to bash snowboarders. Whatever.
Hey,
I've never
I
done
try
it,
and pull
so
off to the side because
no,
like
that's fair. That's good, right?
I
That's
don't
just
want to get
common
hit.
courtesy.
I don't want to get hit.
Yeah.
Um, all right, so like moving on with like hockey, you kind of hit a point. Like, did you? I kind of want to know about your work ethic. Like, where did that come from?
Yeah. I mean, I
Because
kind of, I don't know. I mean, you can attribute it to certain things. I guess I have had a drive, I would say, since I was like 14, 15. I kind of realized at that point where I was like, I really like hockey and I'm passionate about hockey and other things. And I think the realization was like, well, I don't really want this to end. Like a lot of people, that's kind of like 15, maybe 16. I was like, hey, well, this isn't a for sure forever thing. I knew, obviously, at that point, I knew that the day would come where, the dreaded, you would have to get a job day, quote unquote, whatever, life happens. So I was
yeah,
like, oh, I want to play hockey as long as I can. That was how I was thinking. I'm like, how can I wanted to be the best at it. I wanted to have some control over it.
yeah,
So I was like, how can I do this to the best of my abilities? How can I be the best at this?
mm-hmm.
And then I just started developing like time management skills and general work ethic skills. And it's kind of like anything I'm passionate about, though. I've had a drive to like be really good at whatever I do, whether I am or not. I've wanted to at least.
That's kind of like that's my thought process too when it comes to sports anyway. But other things I like to try and be like really good at, and the running joke in my household is I'm good at everything.
Yeah,
Um,
some people say that about me, certain things at least. Board games, especially.
we'll have to go golfing, and you'll have to see like because I golf like once or twice a year, so
Yeah,
it's like I'll go with friends, and they'll get super mad at me because I'm hitting the ball straight or I'm doing things that like they're like I work on this all year long, and I'm getting beat by a guy that does it once.
yeah,
So, but like, if you ask my friends, there's days where we went out together and I shank it every other shot, and it's like verge of breaking your club kind of thing. But
yeah. But
um,
I don't know, competitive, just naturally competitive. But
did you have anything like when you were younger and you were about 13, 14 or whatever? Was there someone that like did something that made you be like, okay, I'm going to put everything into this now, or like, do you feel like it was just like you just naturally kind of had this competitive edge that you wanted to like be better than be better than everyone, or be better than what you were yesterday, kind of thing?
yeah, like, well, my parents were split. Like they split when I was young, and they had different styles. And my mom wanted to make sure I was always doing fine, like I was comfortable, and like,
Mm-hmm.
I was making sure I was having fun, especially with sports. But my dad pushed me a little more, which I was grateful for. I remember him telling me things like, well, if you do well this year, you can play on this team, or maybe you can, be the first underager on the Bantam team or whatever. So,
Mm-hmm.
and like he has always been an idol to me. So
Okay.
whatever he said, I kind of try to, take to heart and I guess output on that a little bit. So I took pride in that too. But I think he was a big driver for my competitive edge, especially as I got into quadrant. Like that's where it started getting like, because when I was in minor hockey, I was on like top half teams. I don't think I
Mm-hmm.
played on the one team maybe one year, what in Pee Wee maybe, but and then quadrant was where it really started. Like I made double A the first year, and then I played on the triple A team, which was like a big thing,
And
and
what
then
age was the AAA team?
that was so I was 14, 13, and 14. And then, even after that, it was like, well, if you have my dad, he said, well, if you have a good season, then, you should try to get into the WHL draft. And I didn't, but, he was always pushing me to
He
like,
always gave you little goals.
yeah, and it was good. Like, and I remember that the first goal was like, well, you should make Bantam AAA as a first year. And
Yeah.
then, even though I didn't, make Bantam AAA or get drafted, he was just pushing me to another level. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I think I got a lot from him too, and then a lot, especially now, is just like a desire to be good at the stuff I do. So
Was he hard on you, or was it like a very calm,
yeah,
collected kind of like
not at all.
here's your goals, like if you do this, this is the reward that you might get from it.
Yeah, it was more like that. Like he was always I like this too. His style was, I mean, it still is. He always tries to teach me and inform me rather than dictate. So,
Mm.
and that might sound harsh, but what I'm saying is that he would always give me the option and tell me what he thinks I should do. So I had a sense of control too, which I
Hmm.
really liked. It's with anything, with sports or other things. And if I wanted to make a decision or go hang out with somebody or whatever, I go into a better school or try to make a better team. He would always give me his advice and then let me decide. And that gave me some sense of control. So it was kind of like my own decision.
Hmm.
How your parents say, well, I need you to do this or you should do this. And it's kind of like, well, I don't know. Like you almost want to do the opposite just in spite of them
A little bit, yeah.
sometimes, like little
Sometimes.
chores, like do the dishes or whatever. Like I need you to do the dishes and you don't want to do the dishes. Or you ever like doing the dishes and then they're like, can you do the dishes as you're doing the dishes? Like, I need you to do the dishes. And you're like, I don't want to do the dishes anymore. So I thought he was really great with that. Like, he always left me some control to make my own decisions. And I mean, I wanted to fulfill the goals, of course, but it was always up to me what I wanted to do. So,
So you felt that was handled pretty good. Did you have
yeah.
coaches or teammates that ever like you'd go to be like kind of be like, well, this is what my dad thought. Like, what do you think? Or like, did you have more feedback than just your dad in all these situations?
Well, yeah, like I would always refer to him, like even after games. I still do. Like, we always talk about my games. A
Hmm.
lot of guys do, but one coach that was great was in Pee Wee, Jarvis Bender. It's been a long time, but he was like the first coach where I felt like he had taken me on for what I was, and like he really wanted to work with me. I didn't feel that a lot up until that point. He, honestly, like throughout, like there hasn't been a ton of coaches that have really made me feel like that, and he was great. And you know, there's been a few great ones here and there. I mean, they've all contributed to my development in one
Yeah.
way or another, but I don't know. Influences here and there. I mean, even off the ice too. I mean, Ryan at the gym is a good influence, and other people in my life. But I take that stuff with a grain of salt too.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah, and like a lot of us really don't like we're all kind of just trying to figure it out as well. So it's not always
yeah,
easy
yeah.
to
You're
like just
just
be like as you get older, you realize that you have to kind of take everything with a grain of salt or whatever because you can't just trust that somebody's going to give you the right information. But sometimes it is really good, and as we get older, we get better at like differentiating between it,
for
right?
sure.
So
Yeah.
um, that's cool that like you've had some good coaches and stuff like that. Um, you were saying something about like trying to get into the WHL draft and stuff like that. Now, I don't really know the process to that, and you don't have to explain it, but like, did when you didn't make that, did that kind of like bum you out pretty bad, or like, did you kind of take that one all right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I knew that I wasn't going to get drafted. It was more of like a set your heights high
Mm-hmm.
so you can achieve more. I was like that year. I was 14. I wasn't playing a lot. Like I was happy to be on the team, and I was still working hard, and like it wasn't anything special. I remember like our D core. There was a couple guys that had played on the team the year before, which when you're 14 is a big deal. Like when you're playing up a
Yeah.
year, so they had already been there, and there was a couple guys that did go in the draft, but I wasn't really. I was like a bottom half player even then, so I knew I wasn't going to get drafted, so I didn't really take it to heart or anything. But I
But
didn't
it didn't
really,
stop you from like working.
not at all, no. And like, I mean, there's been a couple times for sure where things, you know, and it's more like the gradual things that build up where you're kind of like, hey, it wasn't exactly one thing that was kind
Mm-hmm.
of like, hey, if I don't get this, then I don't know what I'm going to do. But it was more of like a gradual build up of like, all right, this isn't working, and then this is slowly not working. But no, I've had a couple moments, like mostly in junior, where I'm like, I don't know if this is it right now. But no, I never really had those setbacks in minor hockey. It was also really just really fun too. Like,
So when you had some of those like setbacks or
yeah.
little failures here and there, like what did you figure out things that helped you kind of like learn through some of them to like move past them and get better? Like,
Yeah, that's a good question because a lot of guys don't have those setbacks and some don't have it ever. Like some guys just excel. And I'm not talking just like the greats of the game either. I'm
yeah,
talking like a lot of guys, maybe not even until college or pro, they don't really have like super major setbacks or like role changes. Like they've just been naturally good. They train hard, whatever, and it carries them through. And I think mine really came in June. Like I was through minor hockey. I knew how good I was, and I was a late bloomer, and I knew that. So it was fun. I was having fun, but in junior was when it really taught me. I got to deal with some setbacks because my first year, I remember thinking like my growth at that point was like becoming exponential. Like I was a late bloomer for sure, and I thought I was like going to go into junior, and I'm going to start at the bottom and work it up to the top four my first year, and then top two second year, and then I'm going to start talking to schools. Like I thought it was going to be this easy exponential growth with just hard work and
mm-hmm.
training, but it wasn't like that at all. It was like a big eye opener. Like I
Well,
think I
it's
was like, well, go
there's
ahead.
so many people, right? Like, there's so many
Yeah,
different people who are maybe in your stage, kind of the similar, and then all of a sudden they have this like, I don't know if it's a light bulb moment or their body just like
yeah,
allows them to do something different or whatever, right? Because like hockey's like as much as most sports have a complicated aspect to it, there's the like the side of the game where it's like you see the game a certain way. Like you think about the greats, like Gretzky, he talks about like watching video and stuff constantly, right? So all these young kids coming up, you're all learning at the same but different, and then you kind of hit a spot where you're probably like, how are you taking all this information in and then outputting it for like your style of play or whatever,
yeah.
right?
I
So
mean, you got to be. That's exactly it. The pool gets bigger now. Instead of it being Calgary or in quadrant, a specific quadrant of the city, all of a sudden I'm competing against the whole province or like other guys from other provinces. So like, how are you gonna how are you gonna differentiate yourself? Like everybody, especially at that point, is training and skating and playing games. Like
mm-hmm.
everybody's doing what you had already been doing in the past. So like now, how are you going to get better?
Yeah.
I mean, the hardest part for me and that the lesson I learned, and it's not to be a word of discouragement, but it's that like sometimes a lot of people work harder and they don't get as much output as others. And like I learned that too. Like I thought it was directly for a long time. I thought it was directly parallel to parallel to your output. So
Yeah.
like if you work, the harder you worked, the better you would be, which is typically true. But I've seen a lot of guys too that have been able to get through certain stages really easily. They have a gift or they just think the game differently or whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, you have to beat out more guys. Every level
Mm-hmm.
you get to now, and now I'm in college, and now I'm playing against a whole half a nation basically, like of space. I'm located in an area of college players that are from everywhere. Like we've got Canadians, Americans,
Yeah.
Europeans. Like, how are you gonna, if you want to be better than those guys, how are you gonna do that? Like, what's gonna drive your growth?
Oh,
So,
and I know exactly how that feels. I
yeah,
went from like small town Red Deer. I
yeah,
started like branching out, skating in like bigger cities and stuff like that, and being like, okay, I'm getting like a feel for stuff. And then when I moved to Vancouver, like in skateboarding, it's like California is the big like where you go to turn
mm,
pro, um, or be noticed in like I guess because America's kind of got the whole side of skateboarding. Like even
yep,
you'd see Brazilian guys from Australia, whatever. They all came to America to make it in skateboarding. So like for a Canadian, you weren't far away, but like I moved to Vancouver and it was such an eye opener
yeah, for sure. I
because
bet.
I went from thinking I was pretty decent to going.
Oh yeah, sample
I've
size is a
got
lot bigger
I've
now.
got a lot to like prove for myself, right?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I totally get that, and I think what isn't the percentage like 1% or 2%. It's like a super low percentage of play like hockey players that make it to the NHL, right?
Oh, it's much less than that. I think
Isn't it like a
one
point?
percent. I think it's probably more like 0.01% if I
Yeah,
had to guess.
it's something
I
ridiculous.
think if you're what I've heard is that if you make it to junior A, which is there's a lot of junior A leagues. I think North American junior A, you're considered the top 1% of players. So, that's a pretty big feat. A lot of guys forget that, but that's a pretty big accomplishment too.
So junior A, that's isn't that like the dub or is that
Yeah,
below?
I
Just
mean junior A, yeah, that's major junior. That's
okay.
like tier one, you could
Yeah,
call it tier one junior A. Tier two is then your provincial leagues, AJ, BCHL, SJHL,
because
and then
I had Evan explain how the NCAA Div One, Div Three, and I'm like,
yeah,
"Where's Div 2?" It's
it's
like
it's gone.
it's not there.
No, yeah,
So he kind of gave me a fairly good download on how that works.
yeah. I make sure to clarify that just for pride. I'm like, hey, I'm Div three, but like I'm one away from D1. Like
Yeah,
there's no
but
Div
like
two, but
I think because like Div 3, you're still like some of those teams can actually, if they are good enough, can almost push themselves into Div 1. Correct?
some of them try. But the problem
It's
with that is
hard.
like, yeah, there's complications with the NCAA because if your whole school is a division is one
Mm-hmm.
division, so you can't have like a Div one basketball team with a Div three hockey team, for
Yeah,
example. So every team at
you got to be
Marion,
all of it.
right? They're all Div three. So if you want to go to D1, your whole school has to transfer to D1, which is like nobody does it. So the only thing you'll see, because you can have NCAA and
Yeah.
ACHA, is you'll see an ACHA D1 team try to go D1 NCAA, which is like the Lindenwood situation not too
Okay.
long ago. I believe they were ACHA up to D1, and now they're fully D1. And I'm pretty sure they have ACHA teams, other sports teams still, but you can coexist NCAA and ACHA. But yeah, you can't really like move up from D3. But there's some teams that could potentially compete with the lower end teams. I mean, there's definitely a gap there for sure. But I don't know. I mean, there's some good players too. So
So if we were to look back at the time with the Camrose Kodiaks, like
yeah,
when you got to that team, was there like a huge like wake up to it, or did you feel like you fit in pretty good at that kind of level with that team?
yeah. Well, this is good. So we're going on a good timeline here. So yeah. So midget with the Royals, finished that. It's not called midget, U18, I
Yeah.
guess properly. Finished with the Royals, played at every level. Went to Fort Mac, Junior A, and then to Camrose. Spent 2 years there. And what was your initial? I completely forgot already. I was
Um.
just defining our timeline there.
So
So second and
like
third year junior Camrose.
like when you were in Camrose, did you feel like you like transitioned into that pretty easily? Like
Right,
because
right.
it from what I understand, like I think it's Marion had an article or someone had an article like pumping your tires about being like a great stay-at-home defenseman and having like this
Maybe
um,
it was maybe it was Tim Ellis.
like your
Sorry.
leadership, your character, your work ethic. Like it was apparently contagious, and somebody put it out there,
Well, that's great. That's good
so
to know it's out there.
they
But
were hyping you up.
I wish
I
I
found
could
that.
find this, but they didn't
So
tell me personally. But yeah, it was
it's
that
on the
was
internet.
it's out
It's
there.
on the
Yeah.
internet.
Well, that was an easier transition. The transition from midget to Fort Mac, like I said, was hard. Like I wasn't playing a lot initially. I had a really hard coach, been in the league for a long time, and then I got traded, which it was a little easier that transition. But the initial junior transition was very hard, and then once I had some games, you got to play games.
Mm-hmm.
Like you play 62 a year in that league. Like you have to play games. I played, I believe, 34 in my first year in Fort Mac, which is not a lot. Like I'm getting
No,
scratched every.
that's like half
I'm just going in, going
or
out. I
less.
didn't barely played the playoffs. Like I played a game, started, and then made a mistake and got pulled out. I sat 9 in a row actually. So and then finished. But yeah, I got traded to Camrose. That transition was easier. Different coach. Coach wanted me. I actually went through a couple coaches in Camrose, but that was fun. I still was learning. Like
Mm-hmm.
even as a 19-year-old, you gotta unless you're a star, you might not be locked in the lineup. Like I'm sure I got scratched one year or one game in that year too. It wasn't. I played quite a few. I played 54 with a couple injuries too. So that one was better, but it wasn't really until my 20 year where I got like really got comfortable. Like I was like, okay, like I'm a vital piece to the team now. Like I am a leader, and like the young guys, we had some younger guys like under 18.
Mm-hmm.
Like the young guys look up to me, and we need some leadership. So it wasn't even until my 20 year where I really, even second half, where I was like, okay, now I feel like I'm comfortable and like I'm contributing every day. Like I know what I can bring. I know what my potential is, but it's hard. It's a long journey, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right, so going from the Camrose Kodiaks
hmm.
to ending up with Marion University, like first off, are there things that you didn't realize, like everyone in the NHL, they'll tell their stories and stuff like this, and oh, I took this route and blah blah blah, and I committed to this college or
Hmm.
university. Is there things that like you weren't prepared for going into that were like kind of eye opening? Just the start of the process to get like to a university.
Yeah, it really depends. It depends on your situation. Like what was really hard actually, and I know obviously that now that I made the right decision, but what was really hard was like initially like deciphering, what kind of options I have and where I should go.
Mm-hmm.
And like after, like I said, there was a couple times during junior where I was like, I don't know, like this, hockey is fun, but like it's really hard. Like some days are hard mentally, and like after deciding that, I'm like, okay, I this is a one time opportunity. I'm going to continue to play and study. The decision was actually like the process was long and it was difficult. It's a big decision. I mean, it's the next
Oh
4
yeah,
years of your life.
moving away.
Oh, for sure, right? And
But
that
you're kind
matters
of
too.
with Camrose, you're already kind of used to being away, but just
Yeah, and it's not. I
in the
mean, I was
U.S.
in the same province, and now
Yeah.
I'm much farther. But the process was long. Like some guys, might have to vet for themselves a little more, or some guys might have one or two offers, or a lot. But I didn't talk to any D1 schools, but I did talk to quite a few D3 schools, and typically how that goes, if you're 20, they'll come to you. Everybody's looking to go D1, so they'll come to you in your 20 year,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, hey, basically like, you know, you're not gonna go D1, you nerd. So uh, basically, so all the D3 schools come in, you're like, have a realization when you're like, okay, I'm probably not gonna go D1. Wait, still, but
Somebody just
like,
pissed on me. I guess I'm.
I got a bunch of D3 schools talking to me. It's like, it's a little realization, but at the same time, it's great because you have options now and you can continue playing. And like, that was my goal.
At least it
It,
wasn't like, nah, you suck. Beat it.
yeah. And like, that was my goal at the start, was like, okay, I want to continue playing as long as I can. Like when I was young, I'm like, I want to be good so I can continue playing.
Mm-hmm.
So I had opportunities. So these are my opportunities. I had a lot actually. I'm probably talked to 10 to 12 schools, and I didn't really market myself. They kind of came to me, and I sifted out a few early ones, and then I ended up getting down to like three schools where I actually visited all three. And I was like, it was just really hard. I wanted to do it right. Like, you don't want to leave a coach on the wrong foot, or like, these guys have jobs too, and like
Yeah.
they've got timelines. They don't want to pressure you, but like you got to kind of make a decision too.
Yeah.
So I had three visits, and I knew right away after I had visited that Marion was right. I ended up picking Marion. I really loved the coach there, Clay Van Diest, and at the time was Riley Orr, but he's moved on to Lawrence, which is great for him. He's a head coach instead of an assistant now, and
Nice.
now we got Alex Mandelitis, which I knew before. So again, finally, two coaches that I actually chose and wanted to play for, and that was the other thing that was really exciting. Was like in junior when you get traded, I never really like I never got to pick. I mean, I started out in Brooks.
Yeah.
And it won't show up online because I was just there for camp and they sent me
Okay.
away. So I didn't feel like I felt
They
like I
had
was
they
just
had
trying to
Kale, and
do.
they're like, we don't want you.
They're like, yeah, you're not obviously not like Makar, so get out of here. But
Even though I've seen
basically,
one of your highlight reel goals, and it might be only like one out of
yeah,
how many,
maybe
but like
I'm
that
sure
was a pretty one that I
I'm sure it
saw.
doesn't I'm sure it doesn't coalesce with Kale McCarr that well, but yeah.
You still got some mitts.
Well, I can stick handle. I can get myself around, but yeah. Anyways, the coaches, I was able to finally pick coaches that I was passionate about and I wanted to work with, and that was cool too. And like now this coach relationship that we have, like
Yeah.
it's different than junior. Junior, it's a business, it's
Yeah.
like your boss. Like you probably aren't grabbing beers with your boss after work. And I'm not to say that I'm grabbing beers with my coaches, but I at least have a bond that goes greater beyond like a player coach relationship. It's more of like a
Yeah.
friend to friend, and then there's the business side, player to coach as
It
well.
feels more like a mentor
Yeah, I
in a
mean, like
sense.
kind of, yeah,
Because
and
like
like
mentors can be friends too. Like
for sure,
um, and that's kind of what I've learned over the years. And so like if that's kind of what it is, that's actually in my mind a great relationship because
yeah,
they're going to look out for the best in you, and you're gonna like it almost opens up a way to communicate properly with somebody instead of feeling like you have to be scared of them and stuff like that,
exactly,
right?
yeah, and
So
like you don't. That's not what, and that's what I really liked about Clay too. And like when I visited, I loved it, and like the guys were great too. But that's what I liked about Clay. He wasn't just this hard nosed coach that was like strictly business.
mhm.
Like he was somebody that I can talk to and like have an actual proper relationship with. And like I get it, you got to trade guys in junior. You can't do that. I mean, you can't build. It's hard to build relationships when you can just send guys off. I mean, college, you can transfer, but it's less likely. But
Mhm.
you're there for 4 years, so there's opportunity to work with one or two guys. In my case, two really good coaches, and continue building with them for 4 straight years. So that was, it was a hard process overall. I guess the message is overall it was a hard process. It was very difficult and stressful, but after deciding, it was great. It was a great relief, and it was super exciting because I had those opportunities for something different, like a different type of
Mhm.
relationship and a different type of team now.
So on the side of like getting to university and starting, and we'll leave out the Conky. We don't have to talk about that one yet. I do want to
Yeah.
ask a few questions about that, but how was the first year? Like hockey wise, life wise, like
Yeah. Did I tell you about my concussion?
I think your mom did.
Oh, okay.
So
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't. I probably didn't remember much
didn't
from
remember
my
much. I know you're like
concussion time.
your mom shared a few stories from
Oh,
you dealing with that stuff while you were gone because I found out and she's explained to me that yeah, that was a little tough for you. So
yeah. I was. Oh, well, it was fine. It was a good lesson. Anyways, yeah. The first year was fun. It was a lot of fun. Again, different than junior. You're doing different things.
a lot less games, right?
Well, less games to start, 25 instead of 62. So, not including pre postseason, but
Mm-hmm.
25 is not a lot. You're playing, I mean, you have meets with your teams, you're out with your teammates, but you're not really with the team
Mm-hmm.
until like mid October, kind
Yeah.
of like doing hockey, training for hockey stuff. And then you're done if you don't make it that far, or even if you make it till the end, you're done at the end of March, at the end of March Madness. So we were done in February this year. So we went for 5 months. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not a long season, and that leaves a lot of other time too. So that was fun for me. Like being somewhere different, being around Milwaukee, Chicago, Madison. We saw the Wisconsin D1 team in Madison,
Yeah.
football team.
Okay.
It was crazy stadiums, like 70,000 people there. It was insane. And I've been to the Bucks games. I'm gonna go to a Packers game eventually. That's gonna happen.
Nice.
But like other stuff like that, and like studying is important too. I wouldn't be just doing it if it was hockey.
Mm-hmm.
Studying's good. Studying's important, and extracurriculars, opportunity to be involved in clubs or do extra things or maybe even work if you want. But
Mm-hmm.
it's different. Like junior, it's like all hockey. Like you're solely dedicated to like training, hockey, games. That's your whole life basically. And then
So continue. Sorry.
no, and then yeah, I was just gonna say college is different in that regard. Like you're focused on different things, which is great. I love that. Like I
If
think I really needed that actually.
it feels like this route is allowing you to mold into an actual person that like can have other interests
Oh
and
yeah.
learn different things, right? Because
Yeah.
like when I was growing up, I was so all about skateboarding that even my family at times they're like, when I got older, like we didn't even know what to talk to you about because all
Yeah.
you lived and breathed was skateboarding. So it was
Yeah.
like, was there anything else?
Yeah.
And I think that even like affected my like possible dating people because I was so hell bent on one thing
Maybe. Yeah.
that like nothing else mattered.
Yeah.
So it kind of seems like because you're getting an education, which is good.
Of course. It's always
There's
good.
I think in learning is like the biggest part of life and enjoying that journey. So like going to university and learning stuff and being in these other clubs that you talk about and stuff like that and being around a lot of different people, it's allowing you to actually now kind of like get a feel for how everything is.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good transition to life. Like that's one thing about college too. It's not just get your piece of paper. I mean, you're supposed to transition into real life, into whatever that may be for you. But yeah, junior was good for that too. I learned a ton of stuff from junior. I encourage, every parent should or probably does know this, but sports are awesome. Like
Oh yeah.
they teach your kids so much stuff. I learned so much from junior hockey, like, and it's so applicable to the business world. But yeah, junior was all about hockey. That was it. So this, allows me to not only pursue other things of interest, but it does teach me other lessons. Like I work with the business club at Marion, and that's important. Like that's experience on the resume that teaches me good skills that apply to a potential future career or a future job. And it's all about balance. Like
Mm-hmm.
if the one thing I would say with all that is that the balance is very key, especially for me, because when you're so focused on one thing, it can be really your mental state can really depend on that one thing. And every hockey player, every athlete knows what I'm talking about. Like you have a bad day, if you're really dependent on one outcome, one sporting outcome, one bad day, one bad game can be really tough. So having a diversified life and having
Yeah.
different interests and pursuits takes that mental struggle away a little bit. And I actually perform better, I think. I think I actually enjoy it more and I do well. I do better having a more diverse lifestyle, just doing other things. Because I'm not so worried about the outcome. Like I'm not worried if I have
Mm-hmm.
a bad practice, it's like, all right, it's fine. Like I have tomorrow, but I also have to study tonight. It doesn't matter. Like I have to study and then I have this thing to do and then I'm also doing this, it's not a big deal. And like it just puts things in perspective too. So that's the biggest thing that I probably enjoy and that I'm probably going to take away is like
Mm-hmm.
just things, intense things that you may think are really important really don't matter too much. Just no need for the stress.
And that's totally true because even like for myself, it was I like I said, I was so enamored by skateboarding. Like there was a point where I started to meet people who were going to college, getting their first year in like say welding and stuff like that. And they're amazing skateboarders. And I'm going, I
Yeah.
feel like I need to skateboard every day. Like there was nobody telling me that I needed to maybe take a break or do something else.
Yeah.
Like or I just didn't maybe people did say something and I just didn't hear it. Because
Potentially.
like in my head and that like I didn't care. I just wanted to like if I skateboarded all the time, I would get better and I would like get more consistent
Yeah.
and the more like but then like there's a guy out there right now who's from Canada who I knew when I was in Vancouver. He was just a little shit when I met him. And he's like super good and he's I think he's a nurse now.
Yeah.
Or like he's in the medical field. And I'm like and he still rips. Like
Yeah.
he's gotta be late 20s. I don't think he's 30 yet. But anyways, like I look back now, I'm like, I never took care of my body. It wasn't until I started getting injuries where I needed started maybe like, okay, maybe I should do some physio exercises so I can get
Yeah.
back on my board.
Yeah.
I didn't know what rest was, and like if I would have rested like 1 or 2 days after a hard skate sesh, I probably would have been better because there's days where like you'd go for like you wouldn't skate for maybe 3, 4, 5 days. You'd come back, body felt refreshed, everything felt snappier,
Yeah,
quicker.
for sure.
Your mind was better. Like nothing was frustrating. It was the days where you were skating like 3, 4, 5 days in a
definitely.
row, and you would start to just want to like rip your eyes out of your sockets because you're like, I can't do anything right, and
Yeah.
like the smallest thing was like irritating to you.
Oh, for sure. It's
So
balance, you know.
having that balance, it was unfortunate I learned it late, but like starting to like enjoy other things and learn about other stuff and actually take care of your body. That's where I started to realize, oh man, if I can share this with other people, because when I first met you at the gym, you had definitely a presence about you when you walked in, and that was my first year working for X
Mm.
Factory. I was a little bit like feeling nervous and whatnot because it was like a totally new stage. I was only used to working with mostly people who have barely touched the gym, whereas like you guys are all confident, high level athletes that like obviously I was like wanting to work with, but at the same time watching and seeing it all and then being like, okay, I have to talk to these people. And I think in the first week, the only thing that, or first day maybe, Ryan, one of the feedback that he gave me was just talk louder. That was like the one thing. But like I remember when you were in my group, if everyone was screwing around and I said a new drill, you were one of the ones to start, and then everyone usually followed.
Yeah.
Like
It's
you, that leadership speaks volumes to people, and like I was so appreciative that I got to coach you that year. Um, and there was others that were great as well, but you definitely had a stamp on me right away. So like I hope if there's any X Factor kids or other hockey players that watch this, that like if you go to the gym and you want to like take it to the next level, you need to like actually show that you're involved and like present with what's going on and not just be there and be like, I'm that cocky little shit who just like I got here because of my skills, but like that does run out.
oh yeah. I mean, well, first of all, I appreciate that, and second of all, that's kind of going back to our previous conversation. That was a way. That is a way to be 1% better. How do you beat out the field when the field is getting bigger?
Mm-hmm.
Well, instead of like you were trying to do more. Like I need to all of my time. I need to commit more time to skateboarding. You just maximize the time you do commit to
Mm-hmm.
it. So like when I'm in the gym, maybe I can train harder. Everybody's in the like everyone you're with is in the gym. They play hockey too. They're training. It's like what can I do with this 2 hours? Because I'm not going to train after this an extra 2 hours. Like you're going to kill yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm like, how can that's a way to,
You're
get better.
optimizing time.
Exactly. And like you're maximizing efficiency. So now I'm going to train harder and have better reps, quality reps. And then that's really what counts. So then, back to the balanced lifestyle, then you have time for other things. And if you maximize those things and do those to the fullest of your abilities, then you'll receive a good output most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, Junior had some great impact on me. There was a lot of stuff I learned. That's where I learned how to be a leader. I mean, I was kind of, I don't want to say forced to, but I think our team was in need of a couple for sure, and like new field for a lot of us. But in Camrose, a few of us got together and we were like, well, we need to drive the bus a little bit. So, I mean, I learned a lot of things, how to deal with people and um, how to lead, really, just how to lead in general. I mean, how do you how do you get everybody on the same um,
Page.
yeah, on the same page, get going the same direction, especially, and how do you deal with different guys? Like, how do you deal with a guy that's the same age as you, or how do you deal with a guy that's way younger than you? Like, how do you connect with those guys? But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, a lot of opportunity for hands-on learning experience. Just another one of the many things I learned that's applicable all from juniors. So yeah, very good for my personal development as much
Nice.
as my hockey development.
So obviously everyone that plays hockey at a high level, you guys all like myself, like skateboarding, I wanted to be pro. You want you like I'm guessing that was the dream, right? You wanted
Yeah,
to be pro,
sure.
you wanted to make the show.
Yeah, I mean
Um,
NCAA for sure. Like D1, that's everyone's goal. I think big goal, and then like from there, you're like, pro. Like
yeah.
at some point, everyone's thought about it. Like, okay, well, how can I make this happen? Like, can I, like, even,
So
so
that being said, like we know you guys all have that, but you've chose university. Now, what did you choose in university to like study and stuff, and maybe why you chose that?
yeah, so I'm studying finance, and this came from junior, going back to junior once again. I started, I don't know what my fascination was initially, but I started getting into investing in like the stock market, and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't invest at that time, but I learned about it. And I started reading a newsletter that I still actually read every morning, just about world economics and investing, personal
Mm-hmm.
finance. And I took a liking to that. And then after I learned a few things, I'm not trading or anything, but I was started investing and, taking advantage of time, the biggest asset that you have. And I really enjoyed it. So that was like a cue for me where I'm like, okay, because at that time I was thinking, I'm like, if I'm going to go to university, like what could I think?
Mm-hmm.
What could I take? And I was like narrowing some things down. I'm like, well, no, I don't want to do that and that. And I'm like, I started reading this newsletter and getting into investing in personal finance. I'm like, okay, this is something I could do, like finance and economics. We don't have an economics degree. That would be like a close second for me, but that's where the passion is rooted and that's where it came from. So that's how I made the
Do you?
decision.
But don't you have some ties to that type of stuff from family, or am I
Uh,
wrong?
well, my mom's an accountant, so one way or another, yeah,
You kind of saw money, how it
yes, she
worked and
was.
stuff like that.
Oh yeah, and like she's taught me a ton too.
Mm-hmm.
And like now that I've learned more, we have great conversation. And now she's getting into real estate, and it's cool because we learn off of each other and power of a community, just a small
Mm-hmm.
one, 2-person community. But yeah, she influenced me too. Like she's the numbers person.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I got that skill from. That was the other reason I was just a numbers guy. So, but yeah, accounting, I don't know, probably not for me, but finance, probably yeah. So I don't know. My mom helped me with that a lot too. I mean, she's a numbers person, like I said, just like me. So yeah, that's really where it originated from, though. So, at least I know though, like I know I'm in the right sector.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't know, which is totally fine. But like I'm, content with where I'm at. I know this is,
Yeah.
the right choice for me. So
So disclaimer, I mentioned I've spoke with his mom before. I'm a fascial stretch therapist on the side as well,
yeah,
and he's one of my clients. I've also worked with a lot of the athletes at X Factory, but I have a referral program, and he told his mom to come see me.
good.
So I've treated her. She's expressed to me how actually proud she is and amazed at how well you took on to all that money stuff and like learning about investing in accounting and stuff like that. So um, she's definitely like impressed with how well you're doing with it. And then I think it was funny that she was talking about how you were trying to get her into investing and doing
Yeah.
stuff. So
Well, yeah. I mean, I was just reading stuff from the internet, and she has her specialties too. But we're on the same page there. But yeah, she's always
she's just not about Bitcoin, right?
well, no, not many. Not, if you don't know about it, then you shouldn't be about it. But
I wouldn't even
yeah,
jump into it. I've had somebody try and explain it to me once, and I just kind of like looked at them and went, "What do you mean drilling? What I don't. I worked on the rigs.
you probably talk
I
about
understand
mining.
drilling. I don't understand mining with digit. Like it
What
just
do you
doesn't
mean
make any
mining? I
sense."
thought the coal industry was dead. I thought it was dying, right? It's like no. If you don't know about it, then don't do it. That's basic advice. But
Basic advice: if you're gonna invest, you better know what you're investing in. I think that's something I've even heard is like if you don't know the company, you shouldn't be investing in it.
for sure, I mean that applies to everything. I mean
But like lots
nobody's.
of people do it, right?
Yeah, no. I mean
So
nobody's giving legal advice here, but yeah, if you don't understand what you're doing, then just leave it up to somebody else. Do the research. I mean,
mhm.
so yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess I do crypto, but not for everybody. So, but yeah, my mom's always been, um, she's always held pride with me, which I appreciate. Like sometimes, as the kid, it's like, oh, okay, mom, whatever.
Mhm.
But I do appreciate it. She's always, I mean, I know she's very proud of me. So, and it's cool to teach her a few things too. I mean, she's taught me a ton. So, like I said, we do that back and forth. Now we're doing the not doing it together, but we're talking about the real estate thing now. She's
Yeah.
kind of getting into it, so it's a cool little venture to have, to be on a similar level. She's boots on the ground doing it right now, trying to get into it more, buying up, looking to buy her second property. So,
Well, I'm a little bit behind in all that, but
well, yeah,
I definitely said like once you're done school, I need some help with investing.
well,
So
yeah, everyone's got a different timeline, and it's never
uh,
too late to start. So,
no, exactly.
you know, don't worry about the others. Just
Hey, today's actually um, like a celebration day for me actually because I just became debt free from dealing with consolidated credit. So
well,
like
geez, there you
today was my
go.
last day of paying that debt off, and it's
Yeah.
like don't get credit cards. And if you
Well,
do,
well, it goes
keep
back
it
to
low and pay it off
well,
instantly.
I mean, if it goes back to the basic advice, if you don't know about it, just don't use it.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, whose money is this? If I can't answer that, then just don't use it. But
Oh man, I think I
no,
was like 18 when I got my first, and I'm like, I need I need food. Like I can just use this, right? And they're like, yeah, you just have to pay it off.
they're like, yeah,
Okay, but there's money on it, right? Like I think that
yeah.
was my brain towards it, which was terrible.
Well, I mean, that's
So
good. Congrats. That's big. It's step one.
so,
So,
anyways, do you feel with like how hockey is right now, like is it in a good spot in Canada, or do you feel like the system is kind of helping, failing, status quo, like between like coaches, how people move up, like the type, like making kids play summer hockey. I don't like. I've heard people like talk about like that's useless. Like it should be like you got to play like a bunch of different sports, right?
well, yeah, and like that, I ended up, back to my story. I ended up playing. I was playing golf alongside hockey. That was like
Mm-hmm.
my two main sports, but it's important. Like, I don't think you need to be doing, again, like, this is why my dad's advice was so great, because he always gave me the option, but it was always my
Yeah.
decision. And I've seen coaches push their kids, or parents push their kids to the point where it's kind of like, is it in your interest or their interest?
Mm-hmm.
But Hockey Canada is great. Like, Canada is a great country for hockey. I mean, there was the recent split, or the poaching and all that,
Mm-hmm.
from the BCHL. And I mean, they're at least I think they're doing it to develop players and develop the game. It's messy right now, but I mean, they're doing it for, to make things more competitive. And like, Canada, that's the one of the few areas where we actually keep up. If not, we're just a little ahead of the US,
Yeah.
with regards to the amount of
Development piece.
people and that we have. But it's great. Like, it's a great system. I think, the U sports is good. It's similar to the NCAA. Great players in that league, but just not as passionate as the NCAA right now. Like, not a ton of fan coverage, but
Yeah.
overall, like, the process is pretty good. Like, I was always kind of, after not getting drafted, I was always, and this was when it was, you were ineligible to go to the NCAA by playing major
Yeah.
junior, but I was always like, I'm gonna go college. I'm gonna go in the college route, because that was like path A was like major junior, or path B
Mm-hmm.
college, like tier two college. So that tier was great. And like, you get your junior experience. You're going into college as a typically a 21-year old, sometimes younger, but
Mm-hmm.
typically a 21-year old. Your brain is more developed and you're more ready for college. Like, overall, I think it's a pretty good system that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Hockey Canada does it pretty well. Um, Hopefully, the BCHL makes it more competitive in the end. I mean,
Yeah.
that's all you can really hope for. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of good players in Canada, like a lot of good hockey players. I think our team last year, at least, we had, I think, 18 Canadians out of the 28. So
Mm-hmm.
a U.S. school, not to mention. So I
Yeah.
mean, that's pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of Canadian polls, so including myself.
Because like I recently heard a quote from Ryan Whitney, and it
Okay,
was I don't know if you've heard this quote yet, but
potentially.
he recently expressed like parents that are saying like my 10-year-old's the next McDavid, blah blah blah, and they're like I think Whitney's response was let's see him hit puberty, meet girls and alcohol, and then tell me if he still wants to play or can play.
Yeah, I mean, that, and like, it
It's
depends
like
on,
it's new distractions, it's new things,
for
and it's
sure.
things that maybe like parents are like, you should stay away from, and we're like, screw you,
Well,
I'll do what I want. But
there's
like,
that too, and then there's like, if the kid wants to play too. That's what it's about. Like as a parent, you're just affording your child the opportunity
Yeah,
to get exercise, meet people, have fun, play sports. It's not, and there's some hardcore coaches. If you have a prodigy, then you have a prodigy, or someone who's really talented. Work with them, but push them in the right direction. But it's up to the
I think
kid to
it's,
make the choice, right?
and I
Like,
think it comes down, like, I feel like it comes down to even the parents at a point to just like maybe back off of that, because when you inflate somebody's head that much, like I coached for 1 year my stepson's team. We had one kid on our team that thought he was the shit, and I'm like, you're Div 6, you're good, but like you're Div 6, and I watch you in practice, I watch you back check in certain things. You don't, this is where your game lacks, and you try and explain this to him, or you, like I mentioned Crosby one day, he's like, what, that old guy? And it's like, okay, not only like
it's
one of
like,
the best players out there, but like,
well, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
so anyway.
Well, whoever's developing that mindset for him there's going to be a cold reality check one
Yeah,
day, but it's all for fun
yeah.
eventually. Like, even me now today, like it's for fun. Like it should be
Well, you've
fun.
you've got to have it to be fun,
It
because
has to
it's
be
a
fun
journey, and you've got to learn how to enjoy it
for
with
sure.
the ups and downs, right? Because there are going to be
Right.
ups and downs.
Yeah, and like I'm not here to, my only pursuit is not just to like make a career out of it. Like ultimately it is for fun still,
Yeah.
and that's why I got into it. And like you have to remember that that's why I still play. So
Okay, so for younger players uh, chasing this dream or any athletic dream, what's one piece of advice you'd pass along?
well, that was actually what I was going to say, was that
Oh, you were
you
just going
need
to
to
continue
make
that?
sure. Well, I kind of, that what
Started
we were
to
just
allude to it?
talking
Yeah.
about it, that was the advice I was going to give, is like, remember to have fun. Because um, one lesson that we had talked about that I learned from junior was that like it's not really exponential. Like you might not go as planned. Like there might be some, not might, there will be some bumps in the road whenever that may be. So like be ready for them and just make sure you're having fun. Because whether and however you do that is, if you're just a locker room guy, or like you have other things like me, like I have other extracurriculars that I focus on too. It keeps the game fun for me, but you have to have fun. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's the biggest. Like I see so many kids like stressing about the game, and like stressing about like if they're gonna make junior or not. Like they should just focus, as much as they should train hard. They should just focus on having fun still, because that's why they started, and that's why they're gonna finish too
Mm-hmm.
at one point. Like if you're not having fun, if you're worried about making the next level or impressing somebody or like landing a job in the future as a professional, like you just gotta step back and like you know take it in perspective. Like
And I
it's
think
the game
that's,
is fun.
I think
Like
that's hard for a lot of people to try and like wrap around, and it's, I don't know if you had a coach that told you or whatever, or maybe it was just your how your dad brought you up and how he showed you things that like gave you that kind of like thought process in your head to be like, you know what, I just need to have fun with this and do my best because I enjoy it. Because do you feel like if you would have said no to hockey at like 13, 14, your dad would have been like, okay.
I think so. I mean, like he pushed me a certain way. I'm sure he wanted to see me continue to play, especially because I was good. I played quadrant. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you're playing quadrant, you're a good player at your
Yeah.
age. So I'm sure he wanted to see me continue, which obviously I did. But if I didn't, I think he would have been totally fine with it. And like that was his thing. It's like if you don't want to do it, like don't do it. I'm not going to make you do it. Like it's up to you. It's in your control. Like I kind of had that choice. So I mean, I'm not going to get into any other questions, but like I had that choice when I was 14, like
Yeah.
to do other things. But yeah, that's what it's about. If you want to do it, then keep doing it. So
So if you weren't playing hockey, what other sport would you want to do?
yeah, well that was definitely golf for me, because I was playing golf. I started playing golf early. That was kind of like, it was kind of parallel with hockey in
Mm-hmm.
that way. I was kind of like on the course when I was young and playing, and my parents did a great job getting me into it, and I was good. Like I had some athletic ability, and I practiced quite a bit, and I started I want to say I was like 10 or 11. I started playing in like tournaments, like Maple Leaf Junior tournaments. So just like
Oh,
around,
crazy.
yeah. So it was like around similar kids my age around Alberta. I went to a few tournaments in Calgary and around surrounding area, and I did that until I was like 14. And like I was a good golfer. Like I could have definitely went that route too. I mean, I was still pretty good, but that would have been it for sure. Like I remember it was like 14. It was 14 turning 15, so like that was after Bantam AAA year. I had to decide like, am I going to do golf tournaments this year?
Mhm.
Because like I just finished playing AAA, and like next year is midget or whatever
Mhm.
U16 now. So it's an important year. Like, am I going to skate in the summer and train, or am I going to continue doing golf tournaments? Do I want to do golf tournaments? And yeah, golf was stressful. I mean, I give credit to anyone who's a pro golfer or trying to be, because it is a mental battle, and like the
Yeah, it might
average
not be
golfer
like
knows, but
super physical or like you whatever, but like anyone who's played knows
yeah,
there's a point where you go just Happy Gilmore getting your home.
yeah, no, it's a hard sport mentally. Like anybody who does that professionally is that's impressive, because like I'm not even close to. I'm a good golfer for sure. Like I'm better than the average, I would say, but not close to a professional. And I have my day, I have my moments. I'm a casual golfer, I'll have now at least. And
Mhm.
I have my days on the course. It's like I'm like thinking, I'm like, holy shit, like is the world gonna end today? Like I can't even, like I can't even make a par out here. Like
Yeah,
it's hard, but yeah, that would have been my choice was golf. But that's what it came down to. I was like, I'm not suited for these competitions. Like I guess I was more a team sport guy.
team
So
sport guy.
yeah, but
Not
yeah.
all on you.
Well, I hope that's not all I was like thinking. I mean, probably. I'm like, oh, if we fail, at least it's not all on me. But I don't have anyone else to blame if I fire one in the trees. But I don't know. Yeah, hockey was fun. I was good at it too. So I'm glad I picked. I still play golf now lots.
Oh yeah.
As you know, I get out there quite a bit. As most people in my life know, I talk about golf a lot. Some people at the
Well, you
gym,
work at a golf course, so
well, that, and some people at the gym thought I was like training for golf at certain times. They're like, man, you talk about golf a lot. Like, are you a hockey player or a golfer?
it's like,
But
well, I have other interests, don't you?
yeah, come on, man. That's what we talked about. This is our episode message right here. It's
Yeah,
just have fun with things
if
and
it's not hockey,
have a
it's golf, right?
balance.
Yeah, you gotta have a
So
balance.
yeah,
Well, thank you for coming on and sharing this story that you kind of how you got from point A to point B and some of the struggles and some of the things you learned and sharing some advice. So
yeah.
appreciate you coming on and being that first guest.
Well, thanks. It's an honor to be the first. I hope there's many more, and your growth is exponential. So yeah, thanks for having me on. It was good. It was a good talk. So
Thank you.
appreciate it.
And if you like this episode, you can always subscribe so you don't miss any. I'm going to try and get as many out as I can. Probably here and there it'll be a little slow, but I've got more athletes down in the pipeline that I want to share their stories and stuff like that. So yeah, hit that like button, subscribe, and we'll talk to you next time. Thanks for showing up.